to my channel. Today I made it back to the garden and I did my boys and I weeded and we tried being the proverbial word, to get the items that are on the uprights to climb up the uprights instead of climbing up on each other. So it looks a little bit better and it looks a little bit different. So let's get started and I'll show you what we did. All right. Okay, see the sweet potatoes, and there's some other things in here that are I finally got them to climb up. And I pulled a bunch of weeds. So we'll see they do better, hopefully. And I mulched just a little bit more. So it looks so much better versus the last time. And there's a bunch of empty space here that I have my spaghetti squash that needs to go in. These two spots right here that they need to go in. But other than that, you can see that we've put a lot of things up. It's really starting to fill in. I don't think I've seen any bean flowers quite yet. Oh, maybe some in there. So they're coming. They're starting. You can see we missed a few weeds on that side, but my boys helped me and I'm really grateful because it's hard to do everything by yourself. The glorious potatoes. Glorious. I'm actually very anxious to get them out of here. The squash, I don't think I have any to pick yet. Look at the eggplant. This is doing so well and they're so pretty. There's flowers on my eggplant. Yay. So they're coming. And look, my zinnias are blossoming. And there's the peppers back there. And these are the beans I can never think of. Big white ones. Lima beans. There you go. Remembered. Some more peppers, my Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, and some more squash. I forgot to look to see if there were any in here that I could grab. There's some, but they're not quite ready yet. Plenty of bugs to go around though. Tomatoes, I didn't actually do any work in this particular tomato patch today, but I did some in the other, so I'll show you that. Have another one somewhere. I don't see it. So funny to see these Brussels sprouts. They just sprung up this week, I think, because it was so much cooler. They just decided to grow like crazy. I didn't get any of these up the vines, these sweet potatoes, but some of them are starting. It's just, all right, squash some bugs first. There's a bunch of them. Let's just see them. I know, it's hardly making a dent, but let's see. Here's this little patty pan. I'm actually going to leave that one because it's still pretty small. And there's another patty pan, still pretty little. Over here's that one. I don't think this has any either. It's still kind of just sitting there, taking its sweet time. This one I just have ones on the end done. And these flowers need some more mulching. Cherry tomato patch. This is where I did some work today. Not these two last rows with the, I believe this is broccoli and that is leeks. And I have to fill some in because they did not come up. This is peas and sunflowers. I actually pulled a bunch of weeds in here. I don't know if you can really tell. My favorite sunflower is blooming. There's some more leeks and cilantro. So I'm gonna have to put some more on the end here. They didn't do too well. And we have basil. I might have to plant something else in the end because it didn't grow too well. As you can see, I pulled a lot of the weeds out. There's my big pile of weeds. And then I have dill and arugula. I believe it's, is it turnips? Might be turnips. Or it's either turnips or radishes. And then we have kohlrabies. Nope, because this is radishes. That must be turnips. So it's kohlrabies and radishes. Swiss chard. And I think these are radishes on the end here. We got more beets. We got lettuce and kale. Really need to cut some of that kale and lettuce before I go. And then we have fennel. Really took off this week. There's one that might be almost ready to pick. I have a couple okra in here to fill in some spots that they didn't grow, the fennel didn't grow too well. Some more zucchini. I actually picked a couple out of there yesterday. missed a weed. Get this weed out of here. Since I'm here, come here. There. Pumpkins. I should probably pick a few weeds out of there next time I come out here. Just don't have time to do everything today. Strawberries, hopefully bring the mulch tomorrow. My husband mowed the lawn and we got plenty of mulch. Just actually have to, here's a zucchini. Yes. Perfect zucchini for zucchini noodles. All right, this is the tomatoes. I put the rest of the posts in today because my dad and my son helped me get the posts. They're in. I'll have to tie them up the next time I come out. So finally, this is to the point where we can start working on it. And then I'll show you. You have to see these. Aren't these beautiful? My daughter bought these for me, and they're so pretty. I have pink and yellow. I probably so you can see the yellow ones in the ground there. I probably have some other colors, but they're not all blooming yet. But I love putting flowers in the garden along with my vegetables. It just makes it so much, I don't know, cheerier. But anyway, these are the raspberries. There were some blossoms, but I haven't seen berries yet. Never grown this kind before. A friend gave them to me. And they're supposed to be thornless. And they are. I just haven't got anything yet. But I wanted to show you my beans because they're really cool. I grew something called asparagus beans. Never heard of it. Never grew it before. But did you know, I don't know if anybody's grown before, but like I said, I didn't. But did you know, look, they're huge. They look like snakes. And my mom told me the other day, she came out and she's like, they're huge. And they're like everywhere. They look like long, sneaky snakes. And it's the weirdest thing. It's like I'm anxious to see how they taste and to see if we like them. Because like literally seems like one bean is almost a meal. I'm completely joking, of course, but they're that big. I'm just amazed at how large they are. I mean, look, here's one on the ground. Looks like a snake, but it's a bean. That's one bean. But anyway, never could get them to climb this. So obviously they need a little bit of weeding. This is my next weeding attempt. So I weeded everything else. Now I just have to weed this side. And I kind of left it this way because the peas are pretty much done. You can see I have a few peas in here, but the peas are pretty much done. And the lettuce, so I need to go through, take everything out, and then start putting in my cole crops that are sitting patiently waiting at my house. And I have a bunch of peppers that are really anxious to get in here. And the onions, as you can see, they're pretty much done, so they need to come out and get dried. That's Brussels sprouts, that's kale obviously, my cabbage. That is my cauliflower. We'll see how that does. And my favorite flowers, I have to show you my favorite flowers. There's so many now. Isn't that beautiful? It's like so pretty. Every year I try and grow them. I don't always succeed, but this year I had more than I expected. Some of them I didn't realize I planted. Like that one. I had no idea I planted that one. Or the one I just showed you. The ones I had planted actually are in pots at my house. I didn't bring them here to the garden at all. And then here's my sunflowers. I don't know if you can tell how tall they are, but they are, probably 8 or 10 feet. They're huge. It's amazing. But anyway, whoops, I think I forgot to look. There's my Swiss chard. I was going to check and make sure I didn't have any squash in here because I didn't look the other day when I came. Oh, there's one. Get that one. Come here. All right, look at over here if they have any. This one doesn't have any. Perfect. So I have a zucchini and a summer squash. All right. You can see my okra is still growing very slowly, but it's going. And then I'll show you the view from this end. My posts are all up. Just gonna tie the tomatoes up when I come out next time. It was too wet today and I don't want to put them up when it's wet. It has to be dry to put them up, so that's why I didn't do it today. You can see my flowers. They smell so good when you bump into them. The sweet corn, I'm going to show you this. I picked some yesterday. It's really, really close, but not quite ready. See? It's close. And I picked, like I said, I picked 2 yesterday, and they're just not right. Not quite there. So that concludes my garden tour today. Thanks for tagging along, and I'll see you again next time for my next tour. Bye!